Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, aka the best channel, The Real ACJ.
I wanna all night, say it. I wanna all night. I wanna all night, say it. I wanna all night.
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it.
Welcome back to my channel, The Real ACJ. Today we're gonna be using these earplugs because my neighbor is playing go-go and I don't want to get copyrighted. Bear with me. I'm gonna try and keep this mic as still as possible so it doesn't sound crazy. So I'm gonna obviously edit the audio to make it sound as clear as I can. Obviously, as you guys can tell, this video is a little bit late. Life's been crazy, y'all. I've been really busy. I've been working on a lot of different things. I've been, adulting. Yeah, this is a little bit different than the videos I usually do, but I wanted to just make a sit-down video and talk to y'all about my life and what's been going on. So it's not gonna be as long as the other ones, but I do just want to give you guys something because I told y'all I was being consistent with my content this year. I wrote everything down that I'm going to be talking about in this video in this little book, so I stay on track, don't lose my train of thought. Basically, this is just going to be a life update and what I've been up to and what I'm going to be up to in the next couple months. Enough talking, let's get right into it, if I can find a page. Okay, so first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is my homeboys keep calling me. They only want to call me when I'm filming. But yes, the first thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is my school, my schooling, my degree, what's going on with that. I know a lot of people are pretty confused because as you can see, I'm home, I'm in my room. So basically, I took a semester, not off, baby, not off, never fell off. But yeah, I took the semester and I chose to go online. I chose to go online for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think I talked about it a little bit in my last video. Like, I don't really talk about it because it's a little bit traumatic. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit traumatic. It's a little bit emotional to talk about. But I feel like I'm at this point in my life where I don't have nothing to hide. I'm a grown woman. Like, I'm gonna give you all the real spill and take it how you want to take it. Be funny if you want to be funny. It's like, no, but yeah, so basically, as y'all know, or I think the last thing I told y'all, I was attending Coppin State University in Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys, like, that university was just not working out for me. Like, just the environment, the people, the faculty, just the whole organization in a whole, like, it just, not saying it's a bad school. I'm not saying you shouldn't go there, but I don't know. It just didn't really work out for me. Like, I just feel like I have more to give and that school just wasn't allowing me to really grow as a student, as a young woman. Just, it was a lot of different factors that played a part into that. But yeah, so I also had a Title IX situation with another student. Okay, I'm gonna go into a little bit of detail, not too much because people be nosy. So yes, basically at the beginning of my sophomore year, literally the first month of school, I had an incident with another student and they did some things without my consent, and that was, I believe, yeah, that was the first month of school. So, obviously the school makes you aware of different, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh gosh. The school makes you aware of different resources like, Title IX. And if you don't know, Title IX is the division in college that handles, discrimination, harassment, sexual harassment, sexual assault, stalking, just anything in that genre. So yes, I knew about the resource Title IX, but not really enough to utilize it. So after I went through that situation with that student in September, I didn't, reach out for help. I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, it was just a really hard time for me. It was really hard. And, obviously that really affected me. It really affected my mental health. It really affected my grades, my performance, and everything. Yeah, so I really didn't end up reporting the incident till around the middle of November. So that's the beginning of September, October, end of November, and then, you know, December is the end of the semester. So after I finally ended up reporting the incident to the Title IX coordinator, I met with her. She was a really sweet lady. You know, we talked about different options for me, different things I could do, different routes that I could take with the report. So yeah, I ended up, you know, talking with her about it and emailing, you know, different offices, school boards, chair directors, stuff like that, just letting them basically know what was going on with me and why it was reflecting in my grades, because that was a very tough thing to go through as a sophomore in college. And, you know, I was out in Baltimore. I was just so in my head about it. Like, I just forgot that I could reach out to my family about stuff like that. Like, I literally just felt so alone in the situation, and I didn't allow myself to ask for help. Basically, after a couple months of me confiding in my friends, they finally convinced me to report it, because this is like a really common thing with, you know, if you've ever been through any kind of sexual harassment, assault, rape, anything along those lines, like, it takes you a while to process in your head what actually happened to you. I don't know why. It's really unfortunate, but like a lot of women, men, whoever is a victim of stuff like that, we try and reason with ourselves in our mind that what happened to us wasn't wrong, or it was our fault, or maybe I did consent to it and I'm just feeling guilty. And it's really messed up, but we try and gaslight ourselves to reason with why this horrible thing happened to us. And that's what I was doing for about 2 or 3 months. I was just like, well, you know, I agreed to go over there, so whatever happened afterwards was my fault, because I agreed to go over to that student's apartment, and, you know, that was on me. It was my fault. And after talking to my friends for the longest, you know, just having multiple conversations about it, allowing myself to be vulnerable with them, because, you know, they're my closest friends. Like, those are my girls. They're my inner circle. Like, I trusted them enough to tell them. I'm glad I did, because they finally convinced me to go to Title IX and report this boy and realize, like, Lacey, that's not okay. That's sexual harassment, whatever you want to call it. So yes, I did. I finally ended up going to speak with the lady. Got this whole big folder. Like, it was a whole thing, y'all. And I'm not gonna lie, like, when I went into the office at first, I was like shaking. Like, I was so scared, because I've had things like this happen to me in the past, and I never did anything about it. I just continued to live my life. I just, you know, block the person or whatever and just go on. But I don't know, I just felt like this time, I just felt like, no, like, you're not gonna scare me. You're not gonna get away with it. You're not gonna intimidate me to sit here and be quiet, because that's exactly what they want. So yes, I spoke to the lady. Her name was Miss Katsura. She's the Title IX director, coordinator, whatever you want to call her. I ended up giving her the student's name. At first she couldn't find him because he was using this like nickname, I guess, but she ended up finding him, and she met with him, and, you know, she came back and told me, obviously, he wasn't being truthful. Like, oh, that never happened. I was like, yes, he does. I seen it. So after talking with her, I ended up getting a no contact order with that said student. Mind you guys, we were literally both housed at the same off-campus housing. So it was just a really awkward experience for me. Like, I would literally have to look at the person who did something awful to me every day. Like, it was really bad. It was uncomfortable, and I just couldn't do it anymore. And I think my breaking point was, obviously, you know, my friends had encouraged me to report it, but it was one night where, you know, I was getting home from campus. I got off the shuttle. I was signing in to my building, and I seen him, and he was with a couple other friends. And I literally, you know, didn't pay them any mind. I was just signing my name to go to my room. And they all just pointed at me and started laughing. And I was like, you know what? This has gotten too far. This has gotten out of hand, y'all. So I'm sorry. This story, I'm a little bit out of order. So after the whole incident had initially happened, I reached out to him and I told him that I didn't You know, obviously I didn't consent to any of the videos that he had taken in secrecy. You know, in the middle of when everything was going on. So I had reached out to him a couple of times, and I was, you know, acting nicely. I was like, I know y'all, it's crazy. Acting nicely to the person who was sexually harassing me, yes. I was like, I didn't consent to you taking those videos. They need to be deleted. Anything you have deleted. He didn't respond. So I ended up blocking him on iMessage because that was just my first instinct. I don't really know the reasoning behind it, but that's what I chose to do. A couple weeks later, me and my sister had actually flown out to Atlanta to do a collab with, you know, another big influencer, YouTuber, whatever you want to call it. And somehow the video of me and my, excuse me, ooh. The video of me and my sister, you know, doing the collab, making content, whatever, it came across his For You page, I guess. So he literally started basically harassing me on Instagram. I'll insert pictures for y'all. Yeah. But he began harassing me on Instagram. He started calling me all sorts of names because I really can't tell you why. But I obviously didn't respond because I was just like, I don't know who you think you are to have an opinion about what I'm doing after you just did something horrible to me. Yeah, I obviously screenshotted everything. I took it to the Title IX lady when I had finally ended a meeting with her. I brought the screenshots of him harassing me on Instagram. If you guys go to HBCU, obviously you know what Fizz is. So I don't have proof, guys. This is all speculation, alleged, whatever you want to call it. But the day after he began harassing me on Instagram and I didn't answer, I actually blocked him on Instagram. The next day, the very next day, I start seeing my photos and my pictures posted all over Fizz. And as you know, it's an anonymous app, so you don't know who's posting what, but literally nobody else even, I guess, would care that much about what I'm doing except for him, that person. So the very next day, I began getting cyberbullied, I guess, if you would call it that, on Fizz. It was the same person posting multiple, like, screenshots of the thumbnails of our videos and me, like, different screenshots of my face during the video, calling me all sorts of names, you know, whatever. So, yeah. Anyways, long story short, I took it to the Title IX. I was like, this is what's going on. I don't have proof that this is him, but I feel like this is him. These messages that I'm bringing you, these are him. He's harassing me. He is sexually harassing me online. And yeah, after that whole thing ended, she ended up giving me a no contact order with the student. So that means I could not have contact with him or his friends, and he was not supposed to have contact with me or any of my friends. So, you know, in all honesty, I was kind of hurt. I felt like a lot more could have been done. You know, she did encourage me to talk about it with my parents and see like other legal options and pathways that I could take. But at that point, I was just so drained with the whole situation. Like, if you've ever been through anything like this, it's very heavy. It's a very heavy thing to talk about over and over and over again. It takes a really big toll on you, really sitting and discussing what happened to you over and over and over again. And then to see this person every single day on campus, you know, laughing and making jokes about it. It's just, it hurt, y'all. I was hurt. Like, I was in a really bad place. This was my no contact order. I'm not going to show you guys the name, even though I really don't care. But this was my no contact order from Coppin State University. And, yeah, that was basically it. She gave me other procedures for allegations of sex discrimination and sexual assault and other prohibited conduct. And that was pretty much it. I do feel like the situation was not handled correctly. And, you know, because of my mental health at the time and the different things that I was going through, I literally stopped going to class. I stopped doing my work. I was really just trying to avoid running into this boy. So obviously my grades suffered. And it ended up with me finishing out the semester with not too sexy grades. And, you know, the Student Academic Progress Board was like, hey, what's going on here? Like, your GPA is like poop. Like, what's going on? So I had to write them a letter. I had to have the Title IX office write me a letter, everything else. So it was a whole big awful, tiring, terrible process. I would not wish that on anybody because college is in itself stressful as freak. So to be going through something like that while you're, you know, trying to balance being an adult, getting good grades, going to class, really just starting your life as a young adult, it's hard, and I would not wish that on anybody. So I am proud of myself for handling it how I handled it. Could I have handled it better? Absolutely. But I have to give myself my flowers. I handled it the best I could. And yeah, so after that whole thing, there was a little bit of other things that came into play after that. So yes, the final decision and the final outcome was me just going online. I went online for the spring semester. And yeah, I went online, y'all. Like, I was like, I need to just take this semester to get my mind back together. I don't know what the hell that just was. Like, I need to just reconnect with nature, woosah. Like, so yes, that's why, well, one of the reasons why I did choose to go online. So yes, I am not dropped out. Baby, I would never do that. I am still pursuing my biology degree. I'm just online for this semester. I do, of course, plan on going back to school. Well, back on campus in the fall. Back to Coppin, no. So that's the other thing I do want to talk about. I am not returning back to Coppin for the fall 26 semester. Outside of that whole situation, there was a lot of other aspects that, you know, played a part in me making that decision. But I just feel like the best thing for myself and my academic career, my mental health, my well-being, just everything, is me not returning to that school. So after I do finish this semester online, I will be putting in my application to a new school. I'm not going to tell you guys that just yet. You know, you got to keep some things in the quiet so they play out in your favor. But yes, I am going to be attending a new university in the fall. Whew, that was lengthy. So yes, that's basically everything about my school, me going online. No, I did not drop out. I'm just online for this semester. I know a lot of people had questions about that because, you know, I've been home, but online college does exist, guys. I actually have all A's right now. So yeah, eat that. Anyway, next thing we're going to be talking about is my businesses and different entrepreneurships that I want to work on. So, as you guys know, I do hair. Well, if you don't know, I have a hair business. It's called Braids by Lace. I've actually been doing hair since I was about, I'm not even sure. I think since I was about 13 or 14 years old. So I've been doing hair for a long time. And I actually decided to do a whole rebrand for my business. I can't say I never took it seriously, but it was kind of just like a little side hustle. Like, oh yeah, I have a hair page. Yeah, I do hair. Yeah. But I decided it's something that I actually want to pursue and get licensed in. So that's another thing I'm going to be working on this summer. Yeah, so I do plan on attending cosmetology school, becoming a licensed cosmetologist. Just another little notch I can have under my belt. Yeah, it's I know that sounds pretty simple, but it's really that simple. Just be on the lookout for my hair brand that I'm going to be promoting a lot more. The hairstyle that I actually had in the last video, my Virginia Beach vlog, honestly, every hairstyle that you've seen on this channel, I've done myself. I haven't had anybody else touch my hair in like, I think about 4 years. Yeah, every hairstyle that I have, I do on my own. So yeah, keep an eye out for the rebrand, guys. I'm going to be honestly just doing a whole new look. I have been talking with my mom about helping me create a booking site. I'm not really too familiar with like building websites and stuff like that. That is something I want to, you know, get into. But my mom actually has her own business right now. So she did agree to help me set up my own website, my own booking site. So Braids by Lace is about to become a real LLC shortly. And yeah, I'm really excited to share with you guys. I feel like it's just something that I haven't really taken serious until now. Like I realized I'm actually really good at this. I'm good at what I do. So yeah, the rebrand is on the way. Keep an eye out for that. I'm going to link my hair page right here somewhere for you guys. If you see it and if you like what you see, go follow. If you don't like what you see, go follow it anyway. I don't care. But yeah, the rebrand is coming. I'm actually working on my spring break / summer hair flyers, discount styles, stuff like that right now. So you guys just see that in less than 2 weeks. As far as my hair business, it will be booming this year. It will be taking off. I will be taking it serious. I'm gonna have more clients, more bookings, everything along those lines. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the hair. Just wanted to let you guys know that. The next thing I want to talk about with you guys is my personal life. And I don't know what Lacey's been up to outside of social media, which you guys see. Yeah, I just feel like I want to be really real with you guys. I don't want to portray myself as some perfect little Instagram girl. Like, we're humans, so I'm going to be real with you guys. But something that I have been working on in my personal life is quitting smoking. If you guys know me off the internet, you guys know that I was smoking for, I think, about like 4 or 5 years now. And that was something, I don't ever really feel like it was something that was like addicting for me or like, oh, this huge problem. And until I really like had to take a step back recently and, you know, look at my funds, look at my finances, look at where I was, things that I wanted and didn't have yet. And I was just like, oh girl, like, we gotta stop this. Like, we gotta bust up. Like, it's just time to put that down and pick something else up. So yes, after about 4 or 5 years of being a little pothead, being a stoner, gardener, whatever the lingo is, I have decided to stop smoking weed. I think I've been sober for about 3.5 months, maybe 4. January, February, March. Okay, so 3. Yeah, I've been sober for 3 months. I think I quit back in January, and I actually have not smoked since. I don't know what it was. Like, I know a lot of my friends have asked me about it because, you know, I just feel like it's just something that like a lot of people my age are realizing. Not saying that if you smoke weed you're a bad person or you're a druggie or anything like that. A lot of my friends, you know, people that I know, people in my circle, that's just something we've realized, that it's just time for us to boss up and hit the next level in our lives. So yes, I no longer smoke weed. Honestly, if I'm being honest and realistic, the first month was actually pretty tough because if you have been using marijuana for a prolonged period of time, years in my case, it really does affect your appetite, your sleep schedule, your mood, everything like that. And yeah, like when I first quit, I was just like, oh my gosh, like it really just opened my eyes to how much it was kind of holding me back and really affecting my natural cycle of things. Like my appetite was screwed for the first month. Like I had no appetite at all. I didn't want to eat anything. I realized that it affected my sleep schedule because I used to, especially when I was in college, I used to smoke every night before I would go to bed because I just had this thought in my head. I was like, yeah, I need my bedtime J. Like, it just helps me go to sleep. You know, obviously I would get my stuff done. I would do my homework, go to the gym, see my friends, then come home and roll a J. But I don't know. I just really wanted to stop. Like, I didn't want it to be a part of my life anymore. The first month, I'm not gonna lie, guys, it was really tough. It was not easy at all. I'm not going to sit here and be like, one day I just threw the weed out the window and never went back. I would be a fibber. You can call me a fibber if I said that, because that's a lie. It definitely took, yeah, y'all, it took some will. Like, I'm not going to lie, it took some will. It took a lot of pep talks to myself. I was just like, girl, like, you don't need this. You really don't. And there's a lot of things I want to achieve. There's a lot of things I want to buy, a lot of big girl purchases on the way. And I was just like, okay, me spending all this money and buying weed every week is hindering it. Like, I can't even lie to myself anymore. It's literally hindering me from being where I want to be because I'm prioritizing this instead of what I need to do. So yes, you know, obviously I was having these talks with myself before I initially quit. I would be like, yeah, like this was going to be the last purchase, and I would, you know, go buy some more, and I would feel ashamed. I would be like, oh, okay, like this is it. Like you slipped up last time, but this is it. Like this is, then I'll buy some more. And yeah, it was just kind of like a cycle. And I was like, okay, am I going to keep pep talking myself, or am I going to actually do what needs to be done to break this habit and stop smoking weed? So yes, I believe it was the trip to Houston that I had planned in January for FireCon. That was a big part of it. Because that was actually a church retreat. So I was like, you know, I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, so how's this gonna work? Like, how am I gonna be able to smoke and go to Houston? And then that's when I was like, okay, girl, like that's too much. Like you should not be focused on smoking weed while you're on the way to the church retreat. After that, I kind of realized, okay, like it's time to stop talking about it and actually do it. So I stopped buying weed. I didn't text my plug. I can't say I deleted all their numbers. That would be a lie too. They still text me to this day. I actually have to go block them because I'm tired of it. But yeah, I just a huge thing that helped me actually be able to have the willpower to stop smoking was distracting my brain from that. Like I knew it had become a problem when I would wake up in the morning, you know, get all my stuff done, whatever, and I'll be like, oh, okay, let me do it, like get all my responsibilities out the way so I can roll up. That's no way to live. Like you should not live your everyday to-day life waiting to do a certain thing. Like you should be present in every moment, every day, you know, because every day is God-given, every day is not promised. So yeah, I didn't like the space that it had me in. It just started to feel like a cycle of just non-stop foolishness. Yeah, so a big thing that helped me, you know, just get my mind off of it was finding activities. Like when I was younger, I used to really love to paint, and I used to really love to draw. So I, you know, started painting again. I started drawing again. I really like, you know, fitness, stuff like that. So I started going for runs, going for walks, going to the gym. I started, you know, cooking little things in my house, baking whenever I got bored, and I'll be like, okay, this is the time of day where I would usually roll up. Okay, let me go make something cool and fun to eat. Like, you really just have to distract yourself. And when I say distract yourself, you can't just, you know, fake like you're not thinking, oh, I'm just, oh, like obviously you're going to think about it if it's a habit that you've created over the years. But, you know, I would just like, okay, I don't want to do that, so let me go do something else. So yeah, that was something that really helped me. I'm not gonna lie, like it took a while, but when I would, you know, be like, I kind of want to smoke, I'll be like, nah, let me go for a walk. And after you stop using weed for a certain amount of time, you start to get your natural dopamine back. Like you don't need to smoke to be laughing, giggly. Like I would literally go for a walk for 30 minutes, come back in the house, start dancing around in the mirror, making TikToks. Like I would just be in such a happy mood because I was allowing my brain and my body to reset and allowing my body to get natural hits of dopamine from natural things, not synthetic dopamine as people call it. So that was something that really helped. Well, my voice just went out. I've been yapping for like 30 minutes now. But yes, that leads me to the next thing I wanted to talk about on the list, but it kind of transitions right into that. So the biggest thing that helped me be able to put that stuff down for good was my faith. And I will talk about it all day on this channel. I believe in Jesus. I love Jesus. Jesus is just my love, my heart, my one true everything. Like, y'all, if I didn't know Jesus, I would have never been able to stop smoking. And that's just the truth. That's my truth, and that is the truth. The biggest thing outside of all my little activities I found to fill the void and everything, the biggest thing that gave me the strength and the willpower to change my course in life and just leave all the foolishness alone, the weed, everything, was Jesus Christ. Okay, so like I'll be talking to him for the longest, even before, like way before I stopped smoking, when I would just have these thoughts like, maybe it's time for me to leave this alone. I'll be praying to God about it. I would be like, God, like, I know this is not what you want for me. Like, I know you don't want me smoking weed. I know you don't. And it's literally a verse in the Bible. I'm not quite sure. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I have the Bible memorized from front to back. But there is a verse in the Bible that says something along the lines of, be sober of mind. Do not be easily manipulated. Do not be under the influence of different things. Because when you are under the influence of substances, it opens up your body and it opens up your spirit for other spirits and spiritual forces. And, I would just be wondering like why I felt so just like down, like the weed did not make me even feel happy anymore. Like I wouldn't smoke and be like, oh, like, wow, look at that flower. Like I would just smoke and be sitting there like this is it. Like, this is it. Like, what is this? Like, yeah. So I don't know. It just really didn't hit for me anymore after a while. Like it just wasn't doing it for me anymore. And I started to talk to God really heavily about it, like almost every day. And I know a lot of people, that's one thing that I struggled with at first when I was still actively smoking. I would literally talk to my friends about this too. I'll be like, y'all, like sometimes after I'm done smoking, I would just feel the urge to talk to God about it. But I would feel like I can't pray because I'm high right now. So it feels wrong to be talking to God while I'm high. And they would just be reminding me like the same thing I'll be telling them. Like they'd be like, girl, like the Lord takes you as you are. But he loves you enough not to leave you where you are. But he's going to take you as you are. So, no matter what you're doing, what you did, if you feel the urge to talk to God, girl, get down on the ground and pray. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, I had lots of conversations with him about it. I would be like, if you feel like this is not for me, like, obviously I knew it wasn't for me, but I'll be like, Lord, I've lately even been feeling like this isn't for me. And I feel like you feel like this isn't for me. So I want you to I don't know, give me a sign or just start to change my heart, start to take this out of my desire, start to take this out of my mind. And, obviously he's going to give you the conviction, but it's up to you to follow up with the action behind the conviction. You can get convicted all day, but if you don't follow up with a change in your actions, change your heart, it's not going to do anything. So yeah, that would be one of the biggest things that I did, because sometimes me drawing a little picture wouldn't work. Me going for a walk wouldn't work. I would be irritated. I would be like, okay, I still want to roll up. God, help me take this off my mind. And after I prayed, y'all, I swear, after I pray, he would just be speaking to me. I would get this feeling in my heart of just fullness, and I wouldn't even want it anymore, because when you talk to God, he listens and he answers. It might not be in the answer that you're looking for. It might not be a big fat painted cross made out of clouds in the sky, but when you talk to God, he is there and he listens and he will show up for you. So that was the biggest thing that helped me to, I don't know, just turn that page in my chapter. Obviously I had to change my physical actions, but I had to start on the inside. I had to work on myself. I had to work on my mind. I had to work on my heart. And I really just had to give it all to him. I had to be honest with myself. You can say everything you want to say, make it sound as right as you can, but God knows your heart. He knows what you think about when you go to sleep. He knows what you're thinking about on the toilet. He knows that you think about that eighth that you got in the bottom of your dresser. And yeah, I just really had to be honest with myself and honest with the Lord, to allow him to work on me from the inside out. And I feel like I am so grateful for my family as well, because for the longest, I was dealing with all that stuff in secret. I would be like, okay, I'm gonna stop smoking, but I'm gonna just, do it on my own. So, I'm gonna just tell them that I stopped, but I'm gonna secretly still do it. And yeah, I'm really grateful because my family was patient with me. They were like, yeah, we know that you're smoking, but you have to make that change. You have to realize that for yourself. You have to want change for yourself. And I'm just like, yeah, y'all right. Who am I fooling? Who are you fooling? Nobody. So that was the biggest thing that helped me. I started praying a whole lot more, y'all. Even little things, I started, starting to change the music I listen to, starting to read my Bible more often, familiarizing myself with the scriptures that I literally grew up on since before I could walk or talk. So I don't know, I can say that was one thing that really helped, was me giving it to Jesus Christ. You can try and do it on your own all you want. You're going to be doing it for a long time. You might not ever get it. You need to give it to God. That's the truth. That's just the stone cold truth. Jesus Christ is the only person, the only thing, the only force, the only spirit that can help you overcome anything in your life, whether it's weed, gossip, boys, porn. I don't know. Like, he's the only one that can help you. He's the only one. And he honestly worked on me in a lot of other areas. Like, yes, I was trying to quit smoking, but he helped me in a lot of different areas as well. Like, he helped me realize that I had a lot of grudges I needed to let go of. I had a lot of people I had to forgive. I had a lot of resentment that I needed to let go of, because that's another thing that I struggled with for a long time. Like, y'all, when I feel like somebody did something to me, baby, you're never going to hear the end of it. Like, I can literally talk about it over and over and over. And my excuse would be, oh, I just need to talk about it a million times and I'll get over it. But I was never over it. So obviously that wasn't working. But I literally had to pray that prayer as well. I was like, Lord, please take any seeds of unforgiveness out of my heart. Please take any seeds of resentment, hatred, anything like that. And I'm not going to lie, it was something that I struggling for the longest. I still am struggling with it, because, you know, there are a lot of people that have done really strange things to me, really weird, backwards, twisted things. And for the longest, I would just be like, yeah, wait till I get you. Like, wait till I see you. Yeah, wait till I catch you. I still struggle with that a little bit to this day. The Lord's still working on me. I'm not peachy perfect. God's still working on me with my forgiveness and my grudges. And yeah, but the whole point of me saying that was, while the Lord is working on you in one area, he is working on your other areas as well. Like, he would never just come fix this and leave. Like, he will literally change your whole being from the inside out, whether it's weed, unforgiveness, whatever. So yes, that was the biggest thing. And the next thing that I was supposed to talk to y'all about was my faith. But, you know, I kind of got carried away. But yeah, that was the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, was my faith and my relationship with Jesus Christ, how I've been pursuing it, making it stronger, really making it personal for my own personal relationship with God. I feel like that's the biggest thing that has helped me grow over these, I feel like that's the biggest thing that has helped me grow these past couple months, is really just giving everything to God. Like, every little weird thing that I've seen on social media that like triggered some sort of response out of me, or like some like feeling of anger, or like, oh, like, you're weird, like, oh, like, I would just be like, nope, Lord, fix it, handle it, Jesus. And every time he does. So, not telling you what you gotta do, but I'm just telling you what worked for me. And I don't know, call me the Lulu, but I just feel like I've been going different. Like, I've been moving different, I've been feeling different. I just been feeling so much happier, guys. Like, I've never felt this like full in my life. Like, I've never felt this at peace with my life, where it's going. I know it's in God's hands, so I'm not stressed out anymore. I'm not so angry anymore. Like, I just give it all to him, and he takes it every time. There's no maximum capacity of stuff you can handle. Like, you literally have to give it all to God. But yes, that was basically a combination of my personal life and the faith. The last thing that I want to talk with you guys about in this video is basically my goals that I want to achieve over the summer and the next couple months. As you guys know, I am a biology major, pre-med. So what that means is I will be attending medical school after I graduate from undergrad with my associates. I'm going to straight to medical school to start studying for my master's in biology. And obviously, you know, I want to be a pediatric neurosurgeon. So I'm going to have to get my associates in undergrad, my master's in medical school, and then I'm going to have to get my doctorates after that. So yes, one of my goals is I really want to become, I want to get my CNA. I know a lot of people already have it already, but that's actually something I recently just learned about. So yes, that's, I've actually been looking for programs in my area, or like around my home in my local area. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I haven't had the best luck. I'm still looking. A lot of them are like, the closest ones are like 30-40 minutes away. So I'm really trying to find one that's more local. Basically, CNA, for those who don't know, it stands for Certified Nursing Assistant. And that is just like the basic, like first level certification that you need to work in any type of hospital, work any type of patient transport, anything like that. I think the basic certification you need is your CNA. So that's something that I have been looking at for a couple months now, actually. So yeah, that's something I plan on starting in, if not the summer, soon, very, very soon. once I find a program that works for me and everything. I believe there's different kinds. There's some programs that can last months. There's some programs that can last a month. I believe there's some that you can complete in 3 weeks. Like, it really just depends. I think some are completely online, some are hybrid, some are hands-on in person. So you really just have to look and find what works for you personally. For me personally, I think I want to do hands-on. I don't know, like, online's cool, but I've already been doing online college and I've been doing online courses for the past couple of months. So I think I want to get my hands dirty. But yes, I will let you guys know what's going on with that as soon as I find one that works for me personally. The next thing, I mentioned it a little bit back about, becoming a licensed cosmetologist. Because I am a bio major and I do hair, I feel like my mom was actually talking to me about this a couple of days ago. But I feel like there's ways that I could implement biology and cosmetology together. So the first step for me is to get my cosmetology license so I can be an official business. And I feel like that will open the door for me to really expand my business and grow it to its full capacity. So that's definitely something that I want to look into. I believe there's literally a cosmetology school down the road from my house, like maybe 30 minutes or 15. I think it's more on the 15. But yes, that's something I'm really excited about and I will be getting into very soon. Very soon. I gotta hurry up, my battery's dying. But yes, the last thing is, as you guys know, I've been saving up for my car for about a year now. I think a year. Yeah, it's not easy, y'all. It's not easy, especially being a full-time college student. Like, if you're not in school, it's really easy to just get a job and grind your butt off, get that money and buy a car. It's hard to work and save money as a full-time college student because you don't have no free time. You don't have free time, baby. Okay, so I was in school. I had my little part-time job at this retail store in the mall across the street from my school, but it's hard. And if you have mommy and daddy buy it for you and finance it for you, that's great for you, boo. Period. Hey, but that's neither here nor there. Neither of those was an option for me. Like, my parents was not about to go buy me a whole new car. I have other siblings and I was in school, so I couldn't dedicate all my time and effort to work. So yes, it's been a struggle. Well, it has been, at least in the past year, trying to, balance making money, getting this degree. It's hard. So yes, that's something that I've been working on for a while now. I did actually save most of my refund check that I got last year. It was pretty fat. Pretty fat. But I saved most of that towards my car, so I'm really not that far off. But yes, that's another goal that I have for myself. I want to purchase my own car. I want to buy it on my own. I want to get it on my own, and that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm going to do. So yes, in the next couple of months, I will have my vehicle. My first big girl purchase. Yes, when that does happen for me, I'm going to be so beyond grateful. Like, it's going to be something I can really take pride in and be like, nobody gave this to me. Nobody signed it for me. Like, I did this on my own. I put my own blood, sweat, and tears into this. And I'm going to be so much more grateful because it's something that I got on my own. Not even a pride thing like, oh, I'm not accepting help. Shoot, if y'all want to drop me a cool little 5K, do that too. But yes, that's just my circumstance. That's my scenario. I'm going to have to get it on my own, and that's what I'm going to do. I'll be purchasing my vehicle this year in 2025. So the exact month, not too sure yet, but definitely before the year is over, I will have my own car. And I think one of my last goals, I think I'm going to get this pretty soon because it's really not as expensive as I thought. I was recently looking into it. I was like, oh, I only need a cool little $400. Not even that. But I want to get a passport, y'all. Like, I have all these trips planned, all these trips lined up. I've taken a lot of trips already. I'm not going to lie. I'm a pretty blessed girl. Like, I've been a lot of places multiple times a year. So I'm really grateful for the Lord for that too. Like, I've been a lot of places. I've been doing a lot of traveling, y'all. I've been on a lot of flights, a lot of airports, but I want to get my passport because I'm about to become a international girly. That's something I've been looking into, and especially, with the state of the country right now, I just feel like a passport is something I need and I really want. So yes, definitely look into that, y'all. It's not as expensive as you think. Like, I know when a lot of people hear passport, they're like, oh, $500. Like, you don't need $500. You need a cool $375, if that. Yes, that's pretty much all my goals that I'm aiming for this year, 2025. So yeah, that pretty much sums up everything I wanted to talk to you guys about. That was a little life update, what I've been up to, what I've been working on, what I'm going to be working on very, very soon. Yeah, I'm just really excited because I feel like I'm really starting to live. Like, I'm really starting to understand and grasp. And I feel like me growing up and getting away from certain people and certain things, certain environments has really helped to just clear my mind and help me refocus on who I am and the stuff I want to accomplish, the stuff I've already accomplished, and the many things that are coming up. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover in this video. I know it was pretty lengthy, but I really hope that you guys took something away from it, learned something, because yeah, if this can help you avoid any little mistakes and not doing it the hard way or learning the hard way, please listen. Please send it to a friend. Do whatever you need to do. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end, comment the color purple in the comment section. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and as always, stay tuned for the next one. I will be dropping a YouTube video 2 times a month on the second and last Monday of the month. Okay, if you don't already, follow all my social medias. They're gonna be somewhere. And yeah, that's it for today. I will see you guys in the next one. I love y'all so much. I'm so happy that y'all are a part of this journey with me, and yeah, I don't know, I'm just really excited to see where we're gonna go. Like, I'm really like bubbling and like getting goosebumps because I can feel it. This year is gonna be amazing. And yeah, stay tuned for the next one. I love you guys. I love y'all. Until next time. Bye.